Hey guys, S182 back at you with another video. And in this one, I'm introducing a new series that I'm going to call FOC Cliff Notes. But first, if you could please like and subscribe. I'll be doing comic book content on a weekly basis, and I would love it if you guys were on board for the ride. Now, back to the topic at hand. FOC Cliff Notes is a series that I want to do because, I've had a few weeks where, since I've been collecting where, I was sick or taking vacation or just something like that. Life happens, and you're just out of the loop. You don't have time to watch an hour and a half FOC video to gather your pre-order list to turn into the shop. A lot of time we don't have time, So my goal with this video is to give you a quick video of the books that you might want to pick up because of first appearances. Because it's a first solo title. I'll give you the reasons why I think you should pick it up as well. And if you aren't familiar with what Cliff Notes are, Cliff Notes, they were a thing before the internet. I don't know, they may still make Cliff Notes. I don't see why, but Cliff Notes back in the day before the internet, if you had to do like a book report or something like, let's say you had to do a book report on The Hobbit. And you didn't want to read the hundreds of pages that the book was to do the report, you could go to whatever bookstore and buy Cliff Notes version of The Hobbit. And it took that book and summarized it down to, 20-something pages. And just made life a whole lot easier if you didn't want to read the book. And unless your teacher knew, to ask you specific questions about the book, you could write a book report and know. And with this video, I want to take that hour and a half FOC video, because those FOC videos to cover all the books are pretty long, and just break it down and to a small bite-sized chunk for you guys. Before I get into that, though, I wanted to address the 100 subscriber giveaway. I put together this prize for a 100 subscriber giveaway, and I asked for you guys' support. And not only did you guys give me your support, but I received tremendous support from the comic book community, all my friends, my buddies at Comic Corner 2.0. Everybody went above and beyond, and I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It really means a lot. This is a channel that I love to do. It's fun for me, and to know that I have you guys' support really, really means a lot to me. And shout out Mike and the guys at Comic Corner 2.0. Shout out all my friends and all my comic family that helped me. Thank you guys. But getting back to this video, not getting back to this video, because there was such an overwhelming amount of support for me. I also I wanted to throw that in. I'm adding this to the prize. And I was going to let you guys know this video will drop on Sunday morning. I will drop a separate short doing the wheel spin. So around 10:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday morning, the same morning that this video will come out. So the winner will be announced. Everybody that's shouted me out is entered. I've got everybody's names on a list written down. Adding this to the pile with the Noctura trade paperback and the t-shirt. This is Marjorie Finnegan, issue 1. It started off good. I think it kind of fell off. I don't know. I heard it got stupid after a little while. I quit reading after issue 3. But this is signed by Garth Ennis, is the cool part about this. So, with that Noctura trade paperback being signed by Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel, you'll have this Garth Ennis signature to go with them as well. So that's just a way I wanted to show you guys how much I appreciate you all. But back to the FOC Cliff Notes. The first book that I wanted to go over is, and these are books that either contain a first appearance or I feel like would just be a good pickup. The first one is Image 30th Anniversary Anthology #1. It's going to be similar to the Skybound X anthology books with all the short stories in them. It's going to introduce new characters, which means first appearances. And it's going to have It's a 12-issue anthology series with stories written by various artists. Could be a launching point for a lot of new Image titles. Like I said before, first appearances. It will feature Mirka Andolfo, Scotty Young, Kyle Higgins, Jeff Johns, and many others. So I definitely would pick this one up. The next book on my list is going to be Electro 100. And this Electro 100, the 100 is referring to what's it called? I'm drawing a blank here. It's actually a number one. The 100 is how many issues she's had in her history over the volumes. But this is actually a new number one for Electra. And so that's my reason number one to get it. The next reason is it's double size. She's just become a really popular character over the years. You know there's going to be some cool covers. Would definitely be looking out for this Electra 100. The next book on my list is Batman Beyond Neo Year. Batman Beyond Neo Year number 1. It's a mini-series. It is the first year of Batman Beyond without Bruce Wayne to help him and guide him. The A cover is really cool to this book, but the B cover is awesome. It's a Ward B cover. Look out for that one, though. I'll put a picture of it up. The next book I want to cover is Alice Ever After number 1. It is by Boom Studios. It's a sequel to Alice in Wonderland, in which Alice has grown and is dealing with some dark real world problems like addiction and things like that. Sounds good, and if told correctly, I could totally see a show or series about this. Also, Jenny Frison is doing a B cover for it, and J. Scott Campbell is doing a cover for it as well. So I would highly suggest at least putting those two covers on your pre-order list. My next book I want to cover is called Knights of X number 1. It's by Marvel. And it's a new ongoing series. It's not a mini-series, not a maxi-series. It's an actual ongoing series. And it takes place in Otherworld. There are possible New Mutant appearances in this book. Main character is Psylocke under the Captain Britain mantle. I just think it's going to be a good book to pick up. My next book on the list is a DC Comics book. It's Earth Prime number 1. It's number 1 of a 6-part miniseries set in the CW DC world. So it's going to introduce CW's version of a lot of characters, such as Clayface for one. And there is going to be, I think it's the first appearance of Ryan Wilder as Batwoman. So those reasons are enough to want to put that on my list. So I would recommend putting it on yours as well. The next book I wanted to cover with you guys is Vanity number 1. This is a Black Caravan horror book. And Black Caravan always brings the heat when they do horror. And that would be my reason number 1 to get the book. It's got an amazing main cover. It's about Blood Countess Elizabeth Bathory and at the end of her life discussing who she was. And I really think this is going to be a good book. Look out for it. Vanity number 1. The next one on my list is from IDW. It is G.I. Joe 40th Anniversary Special. And my reason for this, G.I. Joe is a real nostalgic series for a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be looking for this one. It's going to feature 22 different artists redoing classic G.I. Joe stories, including the classic silent issue from back in the day. It is an oversized issue. So definitely be looking out for that one. The next one on my list is Monkey Prince number 3 from DC Comics. It will have an amazing In-Hyuk Lee cover with Batman and Monkey Prince, and that alone is enough for me to put it on my list. The next one on the list is Radiant Red number 2. I fully expect Radiant Black to be optioned in some form. I buy all the Radiant Black books. If you're a specker or if you just want a good series, I would highly recommend picking up these Radiant Black books. And that is my main reason for adding Radiant Red number 2. I'm just buying everything in the Radiant universe. I believe in that series and what Kyle Higgins has done with it so far. My next book is going to be Red Room, Trigger Warnings, #2. It's Fantagraphics. It is an Ed Piskor book, so Ed Piskor always brings the heat as well. It's going to introduce 2 new characters called the Pumpkins. They are a team of psychopaths, and it's Red Room. You know it's going to be cool. You know everybody's going to be looking for it, so definitely add that to your pull list. The next one on my list is Black Panther Legends, #4, and my reason for adding it to the list is it's going to have a Sway Black History Month variant, and these variants are always really dope and highly sought after. So that reason alone, I would put that on your list. My next one up is Spawn Scorched #4, and it is going to have a McFarlane Cover B homage connecting cover, homaging X-Men 90s covers. It will connect to the previous one he did, I believe. And they didn't have a cover ready yet, of course, but it's going to be amazing, and it's McFarlane, so you got to add that to your list. And my next book up is going to be Dynamite Never Dies, #2 from Dynamite. And my main reason for this is it will have a Michaels Liefeld New Mutants #98 homage cover with Vampirella and Red Sonja posing as Deadpool and Gideon. So that reason alone, I would definitely add that to my pull list. And the next few that I'm gonna name, the next 2 that I'm gonna name are facsimiles that I would recommend getting. And my reason for picking up facsimiles is they always seem to slowly increase in value over time. People want them because you can't get your hands. Nobody can afford the originals of these books anymore. So they're all way too expensive. These facsimiles are always sought after. And this week on FOC, we have Amazing Spider-Man #1 in 1963, the facsimile for it. I'm definitely going to add that to my list. I recommend you do as well. The next facsimile is for Sandman #1, DC Comics. And it's same story as the Spider-Man. It's a very popular series. It's a book you can't afford, and I can't afford. None of us can afford. And also with Sandman, it's optioned by Netflix. Just to throw that out there. The next 5 books that I'm going to name, and this is going to end my list. These are, these are going to be second printings, and my first one is Black Panther #4 second printing. I would highly suggest picking that one up because it's Black Panther's been on fire lately. And Ghost Rider #1 has a Stegman cover, the second print does, and it looks really cool. I'm going to add that to my list as well. The next one is Iron Fist #1. It's getting a second printing. And the next we have is She-Hulk #2. She-Hulk #2 is getting a second printing, and I've loved that series so far. I've loved the covers, so I'm definitely going to get the second printing of that one. And last but not least is Venom #5 is getting a second printing, and we all know that's the first appearance of the Kings in Black and Bedlam. So it's getting that second printing, so I would suggest picking that one up as well. And that wraps up my FOC, my very first FOC Cliff Notes video. And I hope you guys were able to gather some information from it to turn into your shop by Sunday. And, that way, like I said, if you're having an off week and you don't have the time to put into watching these long FOC videos, you can watch my video and in like 10 minutes be able to turn in a pretty decent pull list. Glad you guys watched. Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, bye guys.